Hey everybody, Jim Morrison here, and today we're here to talk to Scott Steinbeck, one of my old longtime friends. I first met him at a local JavaScript meetup. Scott's been a terrific mentor to me. He's taught me a number of different things, whether it be working on the basics of programming to building out projects. So, huge asset to me in my development career. I thought maybe we could meet with him and do a little bit of an interview so you can kind of figure out how his mind works. So, you have been a long-time Coldfusion developer, a real OG when it comes to it. But you can also sling some JavaScript with the best of them. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how your development journey got started?
I started off when I was a kid just doing problem-solving stuff around the house with my grandpa. And as I got older, I went to college and I got picked up by a company with no experience in programming and started my journey there.
Fantastic. So, how did you build it out professionally? What languages did you arm yourself with to be ready for battle in the professional field of being a developer?
Well, it was a Coldfusion shop when I got there, and so I was kind of stuck with Coldfusion. And that's why I'm a real OG at this point, because there's not a whole lot of Coldfusion developers out there anymore. But just like a lot of the languages that they have today, most of it's JavaScript now. I mean, you use the backend for API stuff and for database queries, and the rest of it, even in my system, is mostly JavaScript. So I'd say I'm more of a JavaScript developer than I am a Coldfusion at this point.
Wow. I would definitely agree with that. And as I see, Scott, majority of the time at our JavaScript meetups. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that development skill set kind of laid the foundation for you starting your entrepreneur journey?
Well, I've been working at a company for about 6 years, and somebody that had worked for the company called me up after they had left and had a new project they were thinking about starting. And so we had headed down that trail kind of side work, and a couple of years later they asked me to come on full time. And I have to be honest, I would have never done it on my own because I'm not that risky to go off on my own and try to make it, month to month. But after I was there, I really enjoyed it. Wow.
So that's what got you to get started in your first company. How big is your development team right now?
Our development team is me. we have about 6 different products at this point, and a handful of other things going on in different facets of agriculture. And we've been able to do it with a team of 1, and hopefully in a little while probably scale up to a little bit bigger. But right now I'm handling it.
Fantastic. So what would you say the project is like globally? You work on 6 different projects. What's the primary flagship product?
Our flagship product is Agri-Tracking Systems, which is an agricultural software that tracks everything that you do on the field, your water, your samples. There's a mobile app for different aspects of it, and it's used by a number of different languages, and all the way mostly across California, but even into some of the states on the east.
Wow, so that's basically a product that really makes a difference in our local state here in California.
Absolutely. And it's one of the big points for growers here is that it's built locally, it's built by a team here, they can service all their needs, and we're constantly growing just because of that. Our biggest marketing tactic is word of mouth.
Fantastic. So what would you recommend for those developers that are looking to break out on their own? What's some pieces of advice that they can use in their journey into entrepreneurship?
I think definitely community and trying to get into some meetups where you can talk with some other people. There's a lot of people that have problems that need solving. And programming at its basic core is problem solving, right? We're creating a solution for something that may not even currently exist. But if you can talk to the right people, you might be able to get a job.
So would you say that there's a certain level of soft skills that play a part in being a successful developer?
Absolutely. Soft skills are maybe more important in some aspects than programming, because you can figure out programming, but soft skills may limit you, if you don't have them, from actually getting the job in the first place.
I can't disagree with that at all. So, would you say that someone starting out, just from the square one, trying to build up in their development career, they should focus both on learning how to program, but also learning how to work in a team.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Especially with most teams going remote now. I mean, you can speak to this being on Auth0's team. You are constantly in communication with the team, and probably nothing happens until at least a couple of meetings have happened. And if you don't have a good relationship with the team, that may be a big enough reason for you not to be part of it.
What would you say are some great skills to learn when trying to become a remote developer?
I think, I don't know if humbleness is a skill, but humility is definitely something that even as you become a more advanced programmer, you have to remember, because you will be humbled at some point by someone else. And in a team, everybody's working towards the same goal, and having bad soft skills in that department will probably get you either last on the totem pole, or definitely not as much encouraged as the others.
Fantastic. What do you feel in the current marketplace would be a great programming language to pick up as a fresh developer?
I would say JavaScript. You know, there's a number of front-end development jobs that are available, and if you had to do back-end development, Node.js is there, so you can still do like an API with the back-end and then get you on the front end. And the best part of doing front-end development is that all of the work is done on the client side. And so normally when you think from a higher aspect, oh, I need more servers, or I need more infrastructure, or I need to throw more money at it. If you can offload some of that onto the front end, you don't have to pay for it. So as your development group scales, you have to worry less and less about the things that are done on the front end, and you have to worry about the server infrastructure on the back. And so that plays a key aspect of development and long-term goals.
Fantastic, buddy. So, when undertaking a project here in 2019, what are you really looking forward to biting into?
Oh, I don't know. There's some really cool app ideas that we have going for us that we're going to start digging into, and there's just the whole environment of mobile apps has changed in the last 10 years. You've got mobile web apps, you've got React Native, you've got Vue, and a lot of these things playing into your environment so that you can make web apps as a web developer or as a native developer, and they look the same and act the same for the most part, and you can get stuff out there in the market quickly.
Fantastic. I'm excited about it, honestly, especially to play more with React Native. There's some really cool stuff you can do with that, as we've seen from friends in the projects they've shown at the local JavaScript meetup. So, tell me, how big of a benefit is having a local place like Mesh Cowork or any co-working space near you that fosters those meetups? Like, how can it elevate you in your career?
One's networking. Number two is learning. You know, as a developer, especially on a single project, you get kind of pigeonholed into the information or the technology that you deal with. And so, like, I like to present because I like to bring stuff to the table that people may not have actually even thought about or cared about, and now they have an idea how to get started if their company wants to go in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. You know, when I first started presenting, it really helped me grow as a developer because I really wanted to know what I was going to be talking about. So it really helped bolster those fundamentals as I started doing lightning talks. So I totally agree with that statement. Now, let's say you've lived a long life, long successful career, you've really made an impact on all fronts, you've tackled all the hills that you wanted to conquer. What do you want to leave as far as a legacy?
I think this industry is amazing. I think there's so many opportunities. I think there's so much growth that still needs to happen. I mean, technology keeps advancing, and there's so many fields to get involved in. And so I want, you know, our children and the kids of today to be able to really embrace all that there is for programming and contribute to it. And I want to leave a legacy in that aspect because they should be able to enjoy all the great things that we get to as developers right now, and I don't think that's probably talked about enough.
Right on. So, this is Scott Steinbeck, everybody. Definitely check out his project. Link's going to be below. My name's Jim Morrison. Thanks everybody for hanging around this long. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. And hey, if you know someone that I should talk to, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. Thanks everyone.